fighter has the highest fight IQ?
I don't think there's nobody in the game that has the fight IQ that I have.
Off the charts.
His fucking IQ
The
is
highest
insane.
fight IQ maybe ever.
This guy hits hard. He's tough. He's this, he's that. And this guy has a dream. But my fight IQ will win this fight.
Welcome to the Fight IQ podcast. We're back today with a tier list episode. We're going to be taking all the current UFC champions and putting them on the tier list. S, A, B, C, D, and F. We've created an F because there might be someone who deserves a place on there. But we're going to start at heavyweight and work our way down. So we got to start with Jon Jones, current heavyweight champion. Martin, why don't you give me your opinion right off the bat?
All right. Okay, so I think Jon Jones, if we were to put him on a tier list for how he's been as a heavyweight champion, I would put him at an A tier, just based off of how his activity levels have been for the last couple of years. I know he's been injured, but I feel like he's really done a disservice to the division by, kind of putting it on ice for a little while he fought Stipe. I think if he turns around and fights anybody, whether it's Tom Aspinall or if it's Alex Pereira at heavyweight, whatever they decide to do, but if he turns around and has another fight real quick, easy S tier. But for right now, he's the greatest of all time, but he's kind of held up the division. So as a champion of heavyweight, I would put him at A tier.
Yeah, I guess if we're going currently, and we're not considering their past at all, we're just considering their current title run, I would agree with A tier. I think overall as a champion over his entire career, I would give him S tier. But currently he is the heavyweight champion, and it kind of is fair just to judge him on that. So as the heavyweight champion, I actually am going to agree with you. I'm going to agree A tier.
Yeah, dude.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah,
turning it. That's shocking.
Yeah, but if we're just going current, if we're not considering past
we're
titles.
talking,
But my thing is if we're still talking about current, we're talking about the guy that beat the greatest heavyweight up to this point. Stipe is arguably the greatest heavyweight.
I agree.
Yeah, but if we're
agree.
current,
Which is why he
we
gets A
can't
tier.
argue.
Which is
That
why
we
he gets
can't
A
argue.
tier.
mm-hmm.
We can't argue that he beat Stipe, and that's a
I
big
don't.
victory.
I don't, but that's why he deserves to be an A tier.
Mm-hmm.
S tier,
Okay.
you need activity. You need to be fighting at least twice a year as champion to be in the S tier.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. All right, I'll give it to you. I say S tier, but you know what? I'll concede on that one for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, A tier's where it's at.
Yeah.
All right, so next we're going to look at Tom Aspinall as the interim heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
He has a solid defense. He's been very active. So I'm also going to put him at A tier for myself. He's finished all of his fights under 2 rounds. He beat a lot of contenders on the way up to the division. So, his run up to being champ and his defenses are pretty solid. He's beating the number 1 guys. I think that merits him an A spot,
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to disagree with you. I mean, I don't think you can be an interim champion in the A tier. Like if you don't have undisputed yet, I don't think you could be any higher than a B tier. Like that's just my opinion. But but I think the fact that, and say what you will about the situation at heavyweight, it doesn't change the fact that he is an interim champion. It sucks that he's had to defend his interim belt and hasn't been given an opportunity to get the undisputed yet. But the fact stands that he's an interim champion, and I think that only gets you so high.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to put that on him though, because he won the interim title.
No, I'm not putting it on him.
Yeah,
it's just a fact of the division.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Unfortunately, Tom Aspinall isn't technically champ, has not been considered that past the IC, so that makes it a little tough. I mean, and if we're talking about title run-ups too, if we're talking about leading up to that point, then you can't put him on the same level as Jon Jones, whose entire lead up to heavyweight was title defenses. So I think it's got to be B tier. Tom Aspinall's great. I can't wait to see him fight. Hopefully it's to unify it, but it's a B tier for now.
Yeah, currently he sits at a high B tier for me. As high as you can sit on the B tier.
Yep.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Down to light heavyweight.
Oh. That's
arguably one of
that's as easy as an S tier.
I think it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's like arguably one of the coolest guys as champion that we've seen.
Yeah, Chama tier.
Chama tier.
Chama tier.
Yeah, so I mean our first S tier, Alex Pereira, light heavyweight champion. The amount of I think he's about to be on his next defense will be his fourth, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
In the amount of time that he's done it is crazy. Yeah. The amount of time he did it. I mean, obviously we know that he was, I mean, even as fans of Alex Pereira, you can agree that he was fast tracked to the title at middleweight. But, had exciting fights the entire way, had the rivalry with Adesanya, went up to light heavyweight, got the title, has defended it now 3 times in a year and a half, I think. Yeah. Right? Some amount of time, around a year and a half. I mean, that's pretty insane. What's the most title defenses that we've seen? I think he tied with the last defense. I think he tied the most title defenses within that period of time or something like that. I
think it was like Ronda Rousey.
He beat Ronda Rousey's record by like 3 days, I think.
Yeah, which in today's MMA is crazy.
Yeah, and at that weight division isn't crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, at the heavier divisions, the title tends to move around quite a bit. But, yeah, I think he's S tier. There's no disagreements here.
Sells out every card. You can put him at the top of any card, and it's going to be great.
That's a big factor.
Yeah. He's a superstar. He has a lot of aura. He's down to save a card, jump in on short notice to take on stylistic matchups that might not be the best for him.
Yeah, like champions who are not afraid to risk their title.
Yeah, he'll get in there and scrap with anyone.
That bumps you up pretty high.
Yeah, 100%. And then another thing, too, is there's still a lot of fun matchups to be made. John Jones is wanting a fight with him, There's that option for him to move up to heavyweight. He has the Adesanya trilogy. All of these big fights are still like out there for Heda, even though he's beaten everybody. And then another thing, too, is light heavyweight's kind of been in shambles since John Jones left. I feel like nobody's really defended it more than once or twice since John Jones has left the division, and he just solidified himself as like, yo, I'm king right now of light heavyweight. Step up,
Yeah. So S tier, easy decision.
S tier.
All right.
Chama tier.
Down to DDP.
Oh boy. Interesting.
Yeah.
Gotta be the goofiest title run that we've seen so far.
I kind of like a goofy fighter, though.
I'm
not mad at it
because he makes it work. Like it's not like he looks hella goofy, finishes Darren Till like he's supposed to. Looks hella goofy, knocks out Robert Whittaker, surprises everybody because nobody thought he was gonna win that shit. And then
has a close fight with
looks
Strickland.
Sort of goofy.
That's how
grabs an ankle.
He got the title off of Strickland in a little bit of a controversial fight. A lot of people thought Strickland won that fight. I thought Dricus won the fight. It was close, but I did think Dricus won. And then has defended it now against Adesanya, like arguably one of the best middleweights that we've seen.
Yep.
So where does that put him on the list, though?
Oh. My heart says A. My brain says B.
My brain is telling me B as well because, he's not in a space where you could put him to headline the biggest card of the year, like he's not that big of a star yet.
Yeah.
But he has huge matchups coming, He has the Hamzat matchup coming. And then who else,
I guess the rematch with Sean Strickland, maybe.
I mean, there are a couple people creeping up the division, but they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
There's Nasruddin.
You
could do Nasruddin Imavov. I think is probably the closest right now. You could argue Kyle Bohalio as well, but I think Nasruddin Imavov he's been a bit more active than Kyle. I like that from Imavov. So I think DDP has options. If he can, I mean, first off, dude, if he defends against Hamzat, he's immediately an A tier.
Yeah.
And then if he can beat another up and comer like Kaio or Nasruddin, like that would be pushing him towards the S tier. If he can do this all in a row.
For sure.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
for me, I think he goes in B tier as well. He's only had one defense. I mean, he's beaten 3 champions in a row now. But one title defense, I think puts you at B tier for me.
Yeah. I don't see him as like any higher or lower than Tom Aspinall, so I think B tier is the right move as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Down to Bilal.
D tier. D tier for sure.
D-tier.
Nobody wants to watch a Bilal Muhammad title defense. It's not something that people tune in for. If you put that as the headliner on a card, it's not going to do well.
Yeah.
Even if it's an exciting matchup, it's not going to matter because Bilal is such. Just
Martin is about to explode with something.
Yeah,
dude, D tier is fine with me, bro.
Did you say D?
I want to give him some credit. Yeah, D tiered.
D.
Yeah, D.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I thought you were saying B.
No, wow.
Oh
no.
man. Okay. Damn, you
I
guys
think
are
C
saying
or D is fine. Yeah.
You guys are saying D. I'm gonna say C.
He hasn't defended yet.
I'm gonna say C.
He hasn't defended yet.
No,
so,
I know.
But
I'm gonna say C.
He's good.
I'm gonna say C. Dude, listen, I know I said it in a video before, but the way he was able to on his way up neutralize the best strikers in the world in his weight division and out wrestle people who we know are really good grapplers. That is extremely impressive to me. Welterweight is a very competitive weight class. It's hard even just to get to the title at welterweight nowadays, as the division currently stands and has for the last 2 years. Beating Leon the way he did, I think is huge. That's not listen, say what you will about Leon's a boring. I don't think no one's ever excited to see a Leon fight, but you can't deny how good he is. And we knew how good Kamaru was as a champion, and what Leon was able to do to Kamaru in both of their fights. You can't discredit someone when you're saying that's the guy who he took the title from. That's impressive. He doesn't have any title defenses yet, so he doesn't go in B tier. But the last couple fights that he had leading up to the title and the way he won the title, I thought were pretty impressive. I think he gets C tier, and I think that's fair.
Actually, I'm gonna change my pick, dude. The more you were talking about it, the more I wanted to go D tier. Actually, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, brother, but you're over here trying to. Once you brought Leon Edwards into this, bro,
why?
I was you
why?
lost the argument because Leon Edwards didn't show up to that fight, bro. And if all we have to judge is
that's your opinion.
And well, no, that's just facts, bro. Leon didn't show up to that fight. He didn't do shit until the 5th round.
He got nullified, bro. His game plan got nullified. That's what happened.
I don't know about that, brother. So if all I have is to judge is the Leon Edwards fight, and he hasn't defended it yet, and he pulled out in his first fight, his first title defense, I'm gonna go D tier. So sorry, brother.
Oh man, I think C is fair. What do you think? D tier? Both of you guys are going D tier?
My gut was saying D tier. That was a compelling argument, but I don't think it was enough to really change my opinion.
All right, well, I made my case. He's D tier.
And here's my thinking, right? Is if you look down the division at the people that are coming up and are going to be potential title fights for him, I don't know that he wins many of those.
Oof, I think you're wrong. I think you're going to.
I think he beats Ian Gary.
I think he maybe beats Ian Gary. I don't think Colby Covington's going to make his way back, but.
Shavkat's a coin flip.
I
think JDM.
I think JDM is the guy to beat him probably, but even then, I think it's a really tough fight for JDM.
Dude,
no matter which way you cut it, you can't there are champions where you look at the top 5 and you're like, okay, there are definitely guys in the top 5 and the top 10 that would beat the current champion. Bilal, you can't say that there's a guy in the top 5 or the top 10 that you're like, oh, that's definitely the guy to beat Bilal. He'll get it done easily.
JDM.
Dude, Jeff Neal KO'd him.
Bro, JDM got Wait, what?
Jeff Neal KO'd him, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but we're talking about as this shit currently stands. Like, fighters get better.
Yeah, fighters get better, man.
Let's see him defend it, and then maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
My biggest issue is he is one of the few champions right now that I don't think people get excited for. Like, he's in that category where he cannot hold up a card.
That's true.
A lot of the other champs up to this point could hold up a card. Now we're getting a little sketchy.
Yeah, and he's our first C tier. We've gone A, S, and D.
D tier. First D tier, sir.
All right. You guys got me on this one. Bilal enters the D tier officially.
We'll revisit it if he's champ in 6 months.
Yeah,
we can talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, going down to Islam Makhachev.
S tier.
I think he's got to be S tier. I do.
I don't know. Give me why. I need to be convinced on this because I'm on the board.
I got some. I want to hit some facts here.
All right.
He's finished the majority of his fights in different ways. So he's not just, he just hits rear naked chokes. He just knocks people out. He kind of does it all. He does it with kicks. He's done it with hands. He's done it with chokes. He's done it with arm bars. Like, every opportunity for a finish that you can do, he's done.
Yeah.
He's consistently fun to watch. He's not going to take it to decisions. He has no interest in that. He's pretty good at making sure that it doesn't go there. Lightweight's got to be one of the most competitive divisions in the UFC consistently.
Yeah.
And he's cleared it out a couple times over. Like, he's beat everybody that could be a champ or was a champ. He's pound for pound number 1 currently too, so I think that matters.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Even though pound for
hard
pound,
to say he's not S.
Pound for pound is a very weird list.
It is.
And I don't really. While I do like generally agree with it, it's like I don't really give it much weight. No, I do agree. I was leaning S tier. I just kind of needed to let it brew for a second. I needed to let it cook.
Mm.
The thing that what was holding me back was his route to the title. But I guess it really doesn't matter. Like, if you're like whoever they give you, like, you just got to fight who they give you, and then he got the title and then now has proven that he's like clearly the best in the world. And at lightweight is very tough to do. The top 5 at lightweight is always like any one of those guys could be champion at any moment.
And Volkanovski twice.
The first fight was a little interesting, especially with
the second fight clearly more dominant.
Yeah, Charlie Olives.
Yeah, dude, that's impressive, dude. If you beat Dubronx, you're up there. S tier then, right?
And dude, he's hilarious on the mic. One of my top 3 funniest fighters.
Dude, he is very funny.
He's fucking hilarious, dude. So that means something to me, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. You guys watch the MMA comedy videos, the like MMA being the best thing in the world. One of my favorite clips is Islam just like with the fucking blowhorn. It's just randomly they'll put a clip of him in there. It just goes, and that's just it. That's it. But man, it gets me every time.
The tip of the spear of Dagestan right now too, man. So he has like an entire nation of that whole fan base. He's like the number 1 out of all of them.
Sorry, I can't help but notice that you said tip of the spear.
Yeah, tip of the spear for the fucking.
Tip of the spear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, tip of the spear. Sorry.
For all the daddies and yeah, dude, he's kind of the one that kind of took Khabib's spot. So S tier for sure.
Yeah, S tier. All right. Topuria.
Oof. I mean, he's got to be
A tier or nothing lower than A tier for sure.
I was about to say S.
I'm not mad at S because he's knocked out Max Holloway and Volkanovski.
It's just the way he fucking was destroying people on his way to the title. It's the guys he's beat. You know what I mean? Once he's at the top, like knocking out Volk and knocking out Max back to back is insane.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's why, like, you know, like for anybody else, for any other champion who got the title and then defended it, and now we're talking about where they sit on the list, it would probably be A tier. But I think with Topuria, I think it's something different.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think he's just showing that he's like one of these guys that he's just showing that he's levels above.
Yeah.
Levels above, yeah.
And he's got a professionalism about him too that really is befitting of a champion, where he's just like never going to miss weight, always really conditioned, is consistently at the top of his game.
Yeah.
Says all the right things on the mic.
Yeah, says all the right things. And
confident, confident.
And if you want to go back to like marketing wise, he could sell out a pay-per-view, sell out a stadium and sell really good numbers on a pay-per-view very easily by himself.
Yeah, he has like international like superstars, like famous football players and all that shit, like coming out with him, walking out. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
S tier.
S tier for Ilya Topuria.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn, I mean that one was pretty easy, but I think it's like pretty deserving.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. There's been a few fighters where you talk about like when after they win, you hear the entire internet going, "Oh man, I don't know if we've ever seen a guy this good. He's just different, man." You hear fighters saying it. You hear, you know what I mean? You hear like welterweight. Kamaru Usman was talking about sparring with him and talking about, "Oh man, this dude's just different." The clip of Masvidal, like being like, "Oh man, you know my dude Ilya Topuria, you know he's gonna be champion one day, bro." Like I think Ilya is just a different level of champion.
For sure.
Yeah, you hear stories about him fucking KOing his sparring partners all the time.
Yeah.
It's like every day when I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, Ilya Topuria KO'd 3 of his sparring partners in the camp, in his last camp. Oh, that's cool.
Right. But yeah, easy S tier for me.
Yeah.
All right, going down, big change of pace. Merab Dvalishvili.
Man, I don't know. I think Merab's got to be a C or a D tier as well, right? He's just one of those guys that's not that fun to watch. He's never really been a star. He doesn't kind of have that aura around him like some of the other champs here. I mean, he won the belt off of Sean. That's fine, but I don't know.
I mean, before that, beating Cejudo, beating Jan.
Yeah, I mean, he's beat the best in the division.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe C tier then, if we're counting his run up.
Yeah,
I think he had a better run than Bilal.
I'd put him at C.
I was thinking C tier, but I gotta stay honest to myself because I did the same thing with Bilal Muhammad. I rated his fight against Leon Edwards. Sean O'Malley did show up for that fight. I think he did his best, but I mean, that fight was fucking lame. So I'm gonna judge it based off that fight.
But he had
C tier is a good average.
Yeah,
C tier is a great average. So I'm gonna go D tier and just bring that average a little lower. You know.
Okay.
If it was up to me, I'd put him on D.
He's a low C tier.
A low C.
I
would give him a D. Yeah, D minus. You know.
Dang.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh. I mean,
I just feel like he's a like for the division he's terrible.
I think he is too.
There's no fun matchups for him. He wins by failing takedowns against the fence, which I like. At least Bilal Muhammad, when he fights people, he has success in where he wants to have success. He gets people to the ground, lands ground and pound. He'll smut he'll do his thing. With Merab, it's like the way he wins is he's failing at his thing the most.
Damn,
and
dude.
I don't rate that very highly. The Sean O'Malley fight excluded because he was able to successfully get O'Malley down. But like Jan and Aldo, and I'm pretty sure there was one other fighter that fought him that fucking stuffed all of his fucking takedowns.
He was able to take down Cejudo pretty easily, though.
Yeah, Cejudo was crazy. Yeah. He picked up Cejudo like it was a child.
Yeah. Man, you're making me reconsider my C tier.
Are you dropping him?
I don't know, man. I'm debating it. I think, I think like excitement to watch a guy as champion. Like, do people want this person as the champion? You know what I mean? Like, exactly. That's the clear answer for Merab. And I think that is a factor that we gotta have here, because people's opinions do matter. If you're an exciting champion, people will like you. If you're not an exciting fighter, then people will talk shit about you. I think I am gonna have to agree with Martin here. I think we might have to bump him down to D tier.
Dang. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
And if we're talking, I mean, look, he doesn't have any defenses yet either. So
nope.
And he's stalling the division, bro. He's healthy as fuck probably right now, just chilling, yapping.
He is stalling. He's avoiding Umar. Whether Umar deserves the shot or not, he's avoiding Umar.
He's waiting till Ramadan to fucking start fighting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's like, I want to come back March 1st.
As soon as Peter Yan wins a fight and calls out Merab, he's like, oh, sick, a guy that I already beat? Yeah, I want that matchup. So,
yeah.
All right, dude, I don't like that. D tier for Merab.
D tier. All right. Well, to keep it real low, we do have to do women's bantamweight as well. We have Juliana Pena.
Win for this one.
Oh man, Juliana Pena, she's F tier.
F tier, easy F tier.
F tier.
I wouldn't even have this girl headline a fight night pay-per-view or fight night event at the Apex.
No, I mean she should have been on all of our buzzkills list. She doesn't even deserve to be in the UFC in my opinion.
Dude, I just wanted to put all of WMMA in fucking my buzzkills list, but I had to choose a specific few. Yeah. And the reason I'm gonna put Pena in the F tier is one, she just says all the wrong shit on the mic. I know she's trying to be a heel, but dude, she fucking lost that last fight. She gets her ass whooped all the time. She had the easiest run up to the title like ever. You know what I'm saying? She has a lot of inactivity. And probably right now she's just stalling for Kayla Harrison, you know, because that's obviously the next matchup to make.
Yeah.
Why hasn't it been made yet? But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, easy F tier for me. I didn't even think she beat Pena. Boring fighting style.
Pennington?
Yeah, cringe on the mic.
Yeah. No. I thought she lost the fight to Pennington. Yeah. I mean, it got absolutely demolished in her rematch to Amanda, and I think that first Amanda fight, I think that is one that you could say like maybe Amanda just didn't show up to that fight, because that was clearly a different fighter than we had seen in her past like 10 performances. Don't give me that look, bro, because Leon always fights like he's bored. Leon always fights like he's bored. I think I don't think that the performance of Leon against Bilal was much different than any of Leon's other performances. He got fucking ragged up. He got ragged up.
We're going back to Leon.
Bro, because I see the look that Martin is giving me.
I did it one look, bro, and he goes right back to Leon Edwards, bro. I'm like, yo, dude, I was just saying fucking...
So Juliana Pena is F tier.
Okay,
yeah, that's all I said, bro. We're in agreement.
All right, sorry, bro. Sorry. But Juliana Pena, F tier. Nobody wants to watch her fight. She got gifted her last decision. Yeah.
Coming up to a real relevant one, men's flyweight, Pantoja.
Pantoja. Okay. Off gut, I'm going to say B tier. I agree. I think he belongs in the B tier. He's defended his title twice now. He's going on his third title defense. His only real losses in the last, I don't know how long, 5 years, are to Figueiredo, and I think he's got one more loss in there. But he's never been finished. I think he deserves B tier.
Yeah, he's been active. He's fairly consistent. He's fought the number one guy every time the number one guy shows up.
Yep.
He's been a good champion for sure. Yeah. And if he wins this weekend, I think that would even raise his stock a little more.
Yeah. Might not push him into A tier still, but
not yet.
It would be getting him into the upper ranks of B tier.
Dude, I feel like it's tough to get anywhere near A tier as a flyweight, but I think Pantoja's done all the right things.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's going to be hard to headline a card with Pantoja.
Yeah.
But he's out there defending. He's lapping the division. What more can you ask of a champ? wasn't supposed to headline this card, but they're gonna trust his selling ability to have him headline this one and see what happens. So B tier's fine.
All right. We all agreed.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. All right. Valentina Shevchenko at women's flyweight.
I think she's got to be a little higher than Pena. I want to say maybe D or C. She's been dominant as champ up until recently. Like, it was one of those things where it was just kind of, who are we throwing at Shevchenko next?
Well, her last fight, she looked like kind of like, you know, the Shevchenko of old.
Yeah,
like that looked like
and
a
so
more,
to
a more
avenge
typical.
kind of her only title loss. That's a big deal.
Yeah. She's got 2 finishes as a champion. I think she finished Jessica I and Lauren Murphy.
Yeah.
And she's got a lot of title defenses. Which
I think she finished Caitlin Chikugian too.
I was saying, which one was that?
Chikugian, dude. I think she finished her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did she finish her?
I think it was like mounted crucifix, ground and pound. I could be wrong.
Okay. Like one of those TKOs where it's just like she's not able to defend herself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Listen, I think you got to put a little respect on her name.
For sure.
A little.
I was I was thinking D tier initially.
I'm saying C.
Yeah, just on amount of title defenses and how dominant she's been in the division. I'll give her C.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the exact same spot you were, Ryan. I was like thinking low D tier for Shevchenko, just because personally I hate when watching her fight. Sometimes her last few performances have just been fucking lame.
Yeah. And
but C tier is a perfect spot because she has defended the title a bunch of times. In the past, she's had exciting performances as a champion. You kind of have to lump all of her championship reigns together, you know, in this case, because she just regained her title. But I thought, you know, Grasso consistently looked better in the trilogy. I think she was the closest to finishing Valentina, and she did finish her. So fucking, yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, the fact that, you know, I think at a certain point there was a little bit of like the competition is just not good enough, and so like she can never really get ranked that highly because of who she's fighting. But the win over Grasso is nice, and honestly, if it wasn't for the knockout of Jessica I'd probably have her in D tier. But that one performance kind of like propels her up to C tier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Down to our last weight class, strawweight. Current strawweight champion is Zhang Weili.
I'll start this one off, I guess. Weili Zhang has been so inactive since regaining her title. She typically does have exciting performances, but we just haven't seen her in a while. So I don't think you can give her anything above a C tier. I'll go D tier. Because that last fight against Zhang Xiaonan was pretty close, and she was getting dropped a lot, and she kind of had to smudge grapple her way into a decision there. Yeah. So if that's, you know, the last thing we have to go on in like 2 years of activity, I would have to go D tier.
Yeah, man, I'm struggling between low C and high D tier.
Yep.
I don't know. I think like she has had exciting title fight wins, and exciting fights leading up to the title as well. I think I want to be nice and give her a C tier because I think she's exciting too. Like in my mind, if I see Zhang Weili on a card as opposed to Shevchenko on a card, I'm definitely a bit more excited to see Zhang Weili.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I think for that reason, I'm gonna put her as like a low C.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I think it's C tier as well. Again, I think taking into level of competition too, right? She's consistently fought the top people in the division, beat former champs, fought against former champs that were kind of trying to take a shot again too. So just consistently fighting the best people in the division, even if it is pretty inactive.
Yeah.
I'd say C.
Okay, cool. So we all agree on C tier for Zhang Weili.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's our last champion. That's what our current champions tier list is looking like as of December of 2024. We haven't had our last two cards of December yet. It is currently December 3rd. So as of December 3rd, 2024, that's what our current champion tier list is looking like. Some of these guys could have better performances and work their way up. Some might lose their title. I mean, I'm sure when we do this the next time, we're going to have some different faces on here. But currently, this is what it's looking like. All right. Let us know in the comments. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We appreciate everyone watching. Let us know what you think of our tier list and where you would move some of these people. All right. Peace.
Peace.